The 7 Trend Scouts are called to Amsterdam for their biannual briefing. The Scouts, who work only part-time for Levi's, are selected on the basis of their lifestyle and cultural interests.
Cool, blimey. You'll be
I tend to describe it as more of like a research kind of job, which is what it is, really. You know, I mean, you're not being... I mean, you have to have a certain opinion about what you're looking at, but you're just generally relaying information. So the only opinion that comes in is when you're deciding what could be interesting and what's not. You know, there might be 100 things going on, but not necessarily all of those 100 things are of any use or interest. So I think that's where the job that I do becomes a bit more important to them.
We do get the reports every month, kind of more specific, geared towards researching into one area in each city. Like, it can be, okay, what's the denim situation like all over Europe? Boom. You get a really good understanding of that. Or what's the graphics like at the moment? So you get a sort of really sweep across Europe, reality check, and kind of underground. So what's coming up, but also what's going on.
You do have to look around sometimes. It's not like everything's there in front of you. You just got to be there with a pen and pad scribbling it all down. You know, because obviously some months things are happening, and other months virtually nothing can be happening. So you do have to sort of, it's almost like being a bit of a detective, really.
Christine and Frederick search for inspiration in a wide variety of places, including London's Design Museum, to see an exhibition by Stuart Walker, a designer who specialises in making objects from discarded materials.
That was a little exploration of doing designs where there is no joining and there is no fixing. It's just taking a couple of blocks of wood and a plank and a piece of rubber and just putting them together rather than fixing them. I think there's more texture to the design. It's not as bland as a lot of mass production design. And this piece here is just using reinforced threaded rod and a couple of pieces of wood, a piece of paper, and a pebble. And it's put together using very rudimentary tools. And so that if anything gets broken there or needs changing, then the user can readily do that. I've spent many years taking photographs of places.
Of ugly places that no one else understands why you're taking the picture. So you're into finding all sorts of materials, like in the city or like anywhere?
Or wherever I am, really. I mean, this kind of place, it's not so much the materials as the textures, the colours, the juxtapositions of things. You know, looking at a pebble beach like we've got here, or these textures here. A lot of my
then with that really sort of modern slick thing in the background.
I mean, it's kind of used and abused. It's quite beautiful in a kind of a decayed kind of way.
Totally.
And it provides a background texture to my design work, and a lot of the ideas in my design work come from these kinds of places.
From this meeting, Christine and Frederick get the idea that recycling could also be applied to their jeans designs.
This idea of recycling, we are now going to use it hopefully for the summer collection. So we think it's a really good, it's a good statement. We can make a really interesting denim out of it that no one else has done before. It's got integrity, you know. We do so much denim, we can just as well reuse the scraps. So again, I think the whole idea of recycling is really right for the youth sort of today.
4 times a year, the designers go on a trip to find inspiration for their new collection. Christine and Frederick have a meeting with Caroline Parent, their creative director, to tell her their plans to travel to China to reinforce their idea of recycling.
Kind of attack that one project.
I mean, the whole idea of the recycled is all the sort of, it's the natural feel, you know, and like kind of taking things away from too much technological innovation, but kind of keeping it quite basic. And maybe in China we could look at like really deep blue shades in old cloth and things like that. That has that completely sort of non-sophisticated look, but like really basic cloth that's just workwear. You know, that's sort of the Chinese uniform and things like that. What I'm imagining or hoping is like the Chinese will almost be unaware of how weird and therefore cool they look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's lovely when you see people who's like throwing things together without knowing that it actually makes a fantastic visual input.
It's kind of like my mother.
Yeah. Or like in India, you know, when you're like a very poor man.
They've got about 17 designers who go from Beijing, Vietnam, to New York, San Francisco, Reykjavik, Copenhagen, Stockholm, London, Antwerp, and they just divide and conquer the globe. And then it depends on the way they find their inspiration. Some go to art openings and architectural museums and bookstores, and then some go to a lot of stores, and then some go out clubbing at night. But at the end of the day, they come back with what they found that is going to inspire them in their product group.
God, this space is bigger. This is where the students were killed. It reminds me of Russia, this place. It's kind of so big and scary.
And over there you see that little small
It's our idea to get as far away from trendy shops as possible and kind of dig into something which is quite new and quite undiscovered, and then see where that takes us. Again, it's not sort of presupposed that there's a massive trend in China. I don't think there is, but it's more the idea of stop yourself looking at current stuff, but you really kind of release your mind and go a little bit further. Oh, how he's pinned it together with the sleeves.
Smart and Magella.
Brilliant.
But
Look and take a picture, and
it's
then
horrible.
you look around.
Imagine
It's just
living here. It's so
really,
bad.
really bad standard.
There is no standard at all.
That orange there is fantastic.
What also nice is about those.
And have you seen the little embroideries? Washing is even better because it's so unstyled.
Barcelona has changed a lot in this last 6 months. Fashion wasn't like a big interest, but fashion is like a new rock and roll in a way. Everybody's really fashion conscious, but that doesn't mean that people have turned like into fashion victims or something. It's a different thing. It means that you spend like hours at home trying to look the most ridiculous and coolest you can, you know? That's probably like, so being uncool is probably like the coolest thing right now. Fashion, it's just that, it's just entertainment, it's fun. I think that people in Barcelona don't take themselves too seriously. It's just a trend and it's fun.
They're laughing. Look how they're laughing. And the middle one, now they're starting to laugh in a minute.
But you have to see how they feel. It's like they have cramp.
Yeah.
Look, they put it up.
It's a girl's jacket, a very small man. Again, the accidental code, or that it's that the pattern code's been printed on the pocket flap, but the sewing is so kind of rudimentary and quick and cheap that it's actually sticking out. And to us, that's almost a beauty in itself, because it's not meant to be, but it happened anyway in production. That's something that could inspire us eventually, where you have maybe pattern marking showing outside where they're meant to be hidden away by the seam. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. 12 quid for the whole lot.
How much do you
It's
need?
really cheap. I mean, if you buy army wear in Europe now, you have to pay a
You need how
fortune
much,
for it. 50. So yeah. Okay, that's sugar. Great. Where are we going next? Down the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it out. That's the market you want to go to.
Yeah, and
we've just
here is
been
Friendship Store. It's a big.
And then we go back around the park
Yeah.
and come back to the military
Yeah.
place that he's written down here in Chinese. Also, maybe time for a little cup of cha. Cha-cha.
Tea, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so Chinese. I'm so integrated, you know.
Yeah, but what kind of Chinese are you talking? Mandarin or Cantonese?
Ah, bit of everything myself.
Oh.
How about you?
I'm a master in Mandarin. I did my degree.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
I did PhD in Russian, so for me Chinese is just a little,
Piece of cake.
it's a little side hobby, you know.
You can see you can go with Club Med on holiday. With young youngsters.
What the fuck is Club Med doing here?
Colin, along with the other scouts, has been specifically asked to find the latest trends in t-shirt graphic design for the new range of tops.
Looking through 100 t-shirts, there might be just one that sort of strikes you as being different or interesting. So that's why it's nice to have a stall like this, because there are a lot to look through, and they're all completely different. That's what I was saying before. The stall down there, you get like 5 designs, all different sizes. It's quite dull if you don't like that design, and that's, you know, tough. That's why I like stalls like this, because there are so many. I mean, look, there's no 2 t-shirts are the same here. Some of them are quite funny as well sometimes.
All the scouts file monthly reports back to Kenneth Lingas, the trend specialist at Levi's.
Here's the pictures that's coming from the report from Colin, the trend scout. At this time it's just graphic works for t-shirts, for sweatshirts, for jackets, etc. And this is the trend that's coming from London. Then I do this with Amsterdam, with Stockholm, Milan, Barcelona and Paris. And then we get this overall picture in the end, like this is a European trend. We can see if there's difference between south and north and west and east, and yeah, basically.
I feel like someone shot me through there with a Kalashnikov.
No, but you like to buy one.
It's been really good. Good first day or second day, whatever it is. And the weather's great, so you really see the colours. Like, we've seen a lot of weird things, but you know, it's like very striking colours in the middle of all the grey and dusty stuff. It's been really good. A little sauna in the hotel and a vodka martini.
Yeah, a bit relaxing, and I need a haircut.
And then we need to do a little bit of sketchbook work, because we pick up all the little bits and pieces we picked up. I'd like to get it glued into a book and just to kind of catalogue it a little bit. So you have like the feel of one day after the other, you know, instead of putting it all in the bag and then you have to kind of rearrange it when you come home, and it's not as natural as it would be if you do it on the spot. So I think we're going to try and take a little bit of time off every day to do that. It's really like a toy city.
Like Las Vegas in Asia.
It is. It's beautiful.
This is really bizarre.
Yeah, but this place is bizarre.
I don't know if you noticed it, but there are lots of trees, but they're like grey. They put
night,
green lights under it.
They're more green at night than they are during the day. That's really, again, typical.
Our beautiful Beijing hotels, souvenirs.
And also, I think the page
The
spells it
composition
out.
is so chic, you know?
So giant, Beijing chic.
Yeah, it's conceptual.
I think we've got a new...
Oh.
And this is where the spray mount fucked
You have to
up.
put
You know, I'm
something-
going to put some
yeah.
of that silk paper.
Kleenex or something.
These are the best find yet, I think. It's
Nice
really
colours,
beautiful.
yeah.
Maybe the only thing we need now is the little
Finland.
tag from Finlandia to just finish it off. And then maybe we should finish up with the national hymn.
Yeah, but together. Wait.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I need a cigarette now.
It is great, huh?
It's a dream.
I think every day when we've done our sketchbook, we need to play this song to celebrate that the day is over.
I feel like crying now.
I feel like after 1 week in China, I'm gonna go insane. Clinically insane.
Today is what we call the kickoff for the development of the next season, which is spring 2001. And what this day is about is for the team who has been traveling in and out of the office and away from each other for the last 14 days in small groups to get back together and to what we call kind of info dump on each other.
The Trend Scouts have also been called to join them with their own findings.
So we have been to China and we picked out.
Why?
To get as far away from the big fashion shops as possible. Try and see something that isn't influenced by fashion and glossy magazines, maybe.
And we found what
Found out that it wasn't.
Yeah. But we found some amazing stuff.
I think we should also just underline that it was like really a mental education trip. It was like experiencing such a big country and so many people who have been under a certain regime for a very long time, who have no mean financial or intellectual relation to fashion. First of all, because they got other problems to worry about, I think. Second of all, because they haven't been exposed to real fashion. Just really bad taste all around, very sort of low quality fabrics.
This one is very beautiful item. It's like a padded coat and with all sort of stitches on the inside.
It's all very kind of cheaply made, but this particular one has a nice feel even though it's just banged out very quickly.
And it has a very beautiful color because it was apparently hanging outside the shop for 2 years.
This is the survival kit for us. This is where we could get our frustrations out in the evenings. So we've just done a scrapbook with all sorts of stuff and you're more than welcome to flick through it. I mean, this was Siberia. This is a 5 million people strong town, but there's only 3 streets which is mentioned on places of interest. So it's been a mixed experience.
When it comes to tops, it's still sort of very much second-hand. With slogans, also like humorous t-shirts. So I don't know if you've seen them, but they're quite nasty looking with slogans on, like a bit like this one. It says "I'm with stupid." You know them sort of really 70s. Sometimes they have glitter on, and that again follows on from what I was saying earlier, in that you can now do basically what you want to do. It's no sort of set kind of trends to follow. The basic trend is do what you feel, you know, do what you want to do.
Well, that's something that a lot of girls do in Barcelona. Just wear having clothes for just one time, you know. Okay, you know, they just maybe before going out, they just grab a cotton T-shirt and do something, but only to wear it just once. And she just created that outfit for just one night, and she's not gonna wear it anymore. That's really big right now.
They like to make their own accessories and adapt their clothes almost on a daily basis. Or even cut off a sleeve just before going out, or very personal. Or being able to spot subtle traces of your own personality on your garment. It's very, very important.
It's quite astonishing to see how many similarities there are.
It is similarities, especially in the girls area, which is good. It's good for us because then we don't have to, I don't think it's going to be so difficult to do one product line for all of Europe, whereas maybe 2-3 years ago there was such a disparity of trends in each of the regions.
I think often what we get from the Trend Scouts is more like confirmation of what we already know as designers, because we're also very much involved in research in general. So what we hope for is to see things that we didn't know, and a lot of the time today it's been the same thing. So it's more like confirmation that, okay, we're doing the right thing, or now we need to move on and do something new. Because it's not like we're looking at it thinking, oh, this is what we need to do now. It's more to say, okay, this is what's happening now. The next steps there might be a few little things here and there that is really new and fresh, and that can inspire us to move on as well. Maybe dead stock, you know, recycling dead stock t-shirts, cutting them up and whacking them together and overprinting with, or like marker penning or something like that. How do you feel about that whole thing?
I think it's quite, no, I mean, it's definitely something to look at. Not just so much marker pen, but like cutting and chopping and all that. I hate using the word customising, because it's just so...
Appropriating.
Yeah.
Transfiguration is a new word I've heard.
Not heard that one before.
Ooh.
Like this one. It's like the new big trend, like just with marker pens and with little leaded spots all over. And it looks like a piece of trash. But that's what's going on, and people pay so much money for this.
Yeah, how much did you pay for this?
110
pounds, yeah.
For a second-hand sweater. Coming back from China and the first day with the Trend Scouts and stuff, I personally had a very bad taste in my mouth. I could not relate to fashion on this level anymore. I was like, what a lot of insanity. You know, you've been faced with things that are so much more important, like people basically struggling for survival, living under the limit of poverty, and then you're back in Europe and it's about what's in, what's out, what's trendy, what's cool, and you just want to reject it.
Despite her qualms, the design process has begun. Christine and Frederick have to draw together ideas from their own and from the Trend Scouts research to make prototypes. They want to use recycled and sun-bleached denim for the new range of engineered jeans.
China, the whole sort of sensation was a lot to do with the political system in China and how oppressed people were and not having a personal choice, and all those things kind of fit into our idea that we wanted to create something that was fresh. It almost looks like, you know, an ordinary person has made it or designed it. So kind of getting away from that sort of authority feeling. Another thing that we actually discussed with the Trend Scouts, there's a feeling that people want to represent individuality. It might be that they cut off a t-shirt sleeve before they go out one night and then they never use that t-shirt again, or write something on it. This idea of individual customization was something we wanted to incorporate. So what we did was we made some t-shirts that you can alter. We thought it was quite interesting and kind of just used some different little print lines to hint at that. So that's kind of, you know, you have a short sleeve t-shirt with a v-neck or a 3/4 length. So you're kind of involving people in designing the thing they're going to wear in a way. There's a story which is more sort of recycled, but trying to make it less, you know, like a political philosophy is thrown in people's face, then make it, you know, a part of the garment and make it look really young and fresh, but you have the message coming through anyway. That's quite important for us, not to make it too heavy, but still have the message. I mean, the whole idea of sun bleach, so the idea of things look like they've been worn and worn and worn for years and years, you know. That idea came from China, looking at things that were drying on the outside line, and for us that was a good inspiration.
Christine and Frederick's ideas about using recycled and sun-bleached denim are, however, both controversial and costly. They now have to present these prototypes to Frederick Carling, the brand manager of the engineered range. He will decide whether they are financially viable or if a cheaper, more traditional finish should be adopted.
The debatable fabric, or the one we haven't been looking at together before, is the new recycled submits, and we're very excited about it.
What is the point of the recycled one from a regular consumer kind of viewpoint?
Mm-hmm.
What is so unique that he would choose this because it looks good, but there's a lot of fabric which has been done and probably is going to be out there which looks nice as well. So from a look perspective, it doesn't necessarily have. Or do you feel that it has a distinct,
I think it does
unique?
have a very distinct look.
So the unique property you think would be the recycled piece?
Yeah, definitely.
So given that recycled is obviously something that's been around for a while, it will still be something unique, you feel? I mean, I used to trying to gauge kind of if it really is something different that no one else will have, because looking at it, you won't necessarily see it. So it needs to be something that you really...
But the sort of feeling of natural irregularities, I think that's the hook on this sort of look, is that you don't get so much a clean sort of industrial feeling. You get quite a sort of rugged, natural feeling out of it.
Maybe it's
and I know that you're looking for sort of performance properties, but again, I and the team feel that performance, it's not going to last. I think that there is a ball game for something completely new, which is performance on a different level. You know, you can say to recycle something is really to make something perform.
Yeah.
Then what we've been working on, apart from that, is a revolutionary groundbreaking finish, which we try and position as sun bleach. So it's like bleached in the areas where you'd be hit by the rays, obviously. And we have a jacket that shows it quite distinctly, like under the arms and stuff. It's again a little bit, it's well light, and it's a little bit in that 80s area, but there's a big, strong trend around that.
So what is your plan, since we cannot afford this?
You can't do groundbreaking, amazing, weird things. You're going to have to pay a little bit of money for it. So we haven't achieved what you asked us to do on the price.
And to swap around it. If for whatever reasons we agree on not pursuing the recycle as the kind of volume vehicle, we need to go back and start working very hard on getting the price down on this, make you sweat, or we need to start from scratch.
But do you then think that we fulfill our initial plan to drive denim innovation?
No, I'm just saying if we agree on that not being, then that's the consequence. So we need to build that in as well in the discussion.
For the team, we feel that we need to drive denim innovation to deliver what we've been asked to do. Otherwise, we're not delivering. So, there's different variables, but I think we should keep in our minds what we've been asked to do as well.
Okay, we'll break now, and then we'll Brand will look at all of it, and then we make this part of the kind of common feedback. Okay?
Yeah.
During a break in the meeting, Levi's president Robert Hansen is called in to try to resolve the disagreement over the choice of denim.
It's just going back and forth, back and forth.
You could go through it quite fast, because some of them
at this point just need to take a decision. And they can't make up their minds. One hand they want innovation, on the other hand they want to stick with the old stuff. And it's just, so it always happens like this. It's like making clothes is quite emotional. It's not like making coffee, It's like, or maybe it is. I don't know about making coffee, but it is quite emotional. And you feel these products, and can't understand why other people are not feeling them as much as you do. So it's like trying to make everyone to feel the same way. What's happening?
The jury is still out.
Is it?
But at the end of the day, we're not accountable for the bottom line. The brand managers are, which kind of yields the power, which is fine. It's just a matter of the give and take, and how I just need to kind of go walk out of the room, cool my jets, and come back with a much more productive manner, because I just get so wound up by knowing that it's absolutely perfect. It's just I can't communicate it on a level that completely is the language of a brand management, which is why I'm over here. And
I think we do so much to kind of try and get it across and speak our own language as well as their language, and I just think sometimes the efforts are not being matched.
This is the recycled, and that's
we have the recycled and we have the sun bleached denim development. But we went as far as we thought we would, and went really light with the darker patches. And And the finishing department actually managed it quite well to get the shading looking quite natural.
And when it's on?
When it's on,
it really looks like it's been sun-bleached?
Exactly. When it's on, it looks like the shading is right in between.
Exactly where you wanted it to be.
Where the sun doesn't hit you.
I think
so it creates a nice sort of 3D effect on the body.
I think the one thing I would say, and you had these instincts from the beginning, and we were more conservative, but you probably could have pushed it further. Good. I mean, the denims look great, so I think we're all...
So on T-shirts, we've had a lot of developments this season, actually. A lot of graphic T-shirts going on. These two items are the whole sort of waist, but also the graphics direction of stenciling. It's really
this one's
strong.
really nice. Actually, I quite like both of them. I think this is an interesting graphics direction to take for engineered because it's more unique than what we're doing in the rest of the range.
And also it's quite
and the
streety.
messaging, street, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good, young. It's fresh too. I haven't seen this from a lot of other brands or us, so good.
And it's this direction that a lot of the trend scouts are pointing at, the stencil. So I'm glad we got that in.
As I always do, let me just edit really quickly and tell you where because I think it'll have an impact on where we take, obviously all of it's adopted for the season and we'll put it into production, but I think where we'll take season 3-4 developments is if you take these out and arguably this one.
Yeah.
And you end up saying, you know, this, it's hard to say. I would take this out, but if you look at these looks, don't you love that, all that hard work, and I take everything but 5 shirts off? And you
no,
take...
but I've done the same in my mind already, so...
If you take these as this sort of pinnacle...
The icons.
Icon, because it's customized product, which I think is a great idea, and you guys have done a brilliant job in this. And then you take this one, which I think
got
represents
some sort of history
a really interesting seasonal, and then you take these as a sort of basic commercial graphics offer.
Really in your face kind of graphics.
That's how I'd probably assort the line if I were buying it.
Yeah.
Because I think now this accomplishes its goal to complement
where it's really
the bottoms.
You can see the ideas crossing over, but they're not repeating themselves.
Yeah. It's good.
Before the clothes go into full production, they're shown to panels of consumers, the kind of people Levi's hope will buy their products.
Personally, I don't like the cut.
Okay, so what could they do with the cut to make them more, you know, something that you'd be
make it a bit straight. It looks as if it's like
fitted.
I feel like a clown now.
I'll guarantee I can wear that. I think I can wear that.
Do you want to try them on?
You try them on.
You try them on.
I've got long legs.
You give them a go. Yeah. About the printing, the way it's been done.
What's the saying again? A bit top shopping. Recycle.
And that idea of it being kind of recycled and hand printed.
I mean, the whole idea of having cut-off t-shirts is just buying second-hand t-shirts and customising yourself.
Okay.
Doesn't really work.
This one, I think this one here this one's got actually. Basically,
they're definitely heading in the right direction.
Right.
This is probably so really. I think all of this stuff's going to sell. It's just our personal opinion. We wouldn't wear it. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm interested in both. I mean, primarily I'm interested in your personal opinion.
They kind of grab onto like your ankles in a way, like it doesn't, like it wouldn't keep going under your shoe if you had them on because it's free to grab on around here and stuff like that. It feels close, but doesn't actually look close. Quite comfortable.
So it feels. It doesn't. What are you saying? It feels close.
Pockets are quite tight. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, they're nice. I mean, but that's how I'd wear them as well. Wear them large instead of hanging off me.
Yeah, I'd wear them out, wear them to a club, wear them. Yeah, one of my favourite pairs of jeans.
They've only got one pair.
I think that's disgusting.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Definitely the shirt has to go, but I might. I mean, if it was a little longer, I'd probably have it up like that, like everyone else has it at the moment. It just makes you look at it, doesn't it? I think if they're a bit thinner on the leg, they'd be alright.
Again, I'm not sure about the twisted seam.
Actually, it'd probably be alright shorts as well, you know.
And does that work alright? The darker inside.
Yeah, but I still don't see why. It makes me feel like I've got it makes just darker. It makes you look like you've got sweaty inside legs. It's just not very attractive.
Yeah, it looks like from here.
If you're going to have it,
doesn't look right. You look like you've wet yourself.
Yeah, it does look like you've wet your pants.
With that shadow of the mirror.
It looks like a shadow, doesn't it?
So it looks more like right.
The idea that the sun bleach, the duo tone, might be a little bit weird over the top, maybe not quite understandable, looking a bit like you have sort of staining around the inner side of your legs is maybe not exactly what we want to project. So I'll take that back and try and have a really look at it and really address it and see if we can do something that looks much more natural, or maybe we want to go even, you know, much lighter in the duo tone, so it's not that obvious. It just adds that little bit of extra sort of. If it's not really seen as an added value, there's no point in underlining it.